Hi, it's Stan Reinford, and welcome to this week's market update for April 15th, tax day. So, hopefully, all of you have your taxes are complete, and those CPAs are going to get a refresh break tomorrow. So, let's jump into it. Um, Lots of new people joining. So, let me explain how the charts work. Essentially, here we have three boxes at the top. To the top left is the 30-year Treasury, to the center is the 10-year Treasury, and to the right is the S&P 500. Down below here we have our candlesticks. A green candlestick shows that interest rates went a little bit lower or went sideways. A red candlestick means interest rates went up a little bit or went sideways. Currently, we're going sideways. So let's kind of jump into the market news. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent spoke today and stated that inflation should be temporary and short lived. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But the talks did not go well with Iran over the weekend. However, in the news, it's stated now that there are the right people in Iran that are looking at speaking with the president and speaking with the negotiation team. But their biggest sticking point here is obviously their nuclear capabilities. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But one of the biggest staggering things that I found while doing my research this week is that the blockage of the Strait of Hormuz will cost Iran an estimated $435 million per day, or approximately $3 billion a week, while considering exports and imports. That alone could bring Iran to the table due to the financial pressures that it may cause there. So President Trump said that they're very close to being to the war is close to being over. They're close to getting a deal. That also could provide a little bit more relief when it comes to oil and interest rates. And oil is down. WTI today is somewhere around $93 a barrel, down from its highs. And meanwhile, though, the cost of the average gallon of gas at the pump is a little over $4. So, but the ships are passing through the Strait of Hormuz. The military is there to secure all of that. So we'll have to wait and see. In other news, the Fed news, and I don't know if you heard about this or not, but Fed Chairman Powell and Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent had an emergency meeting last week with the bank CEOs regarding the security from the new Anthropic's model AI, which is called Mythos. It supposedly is really good at finding online security weaknesses. In fact, it reportedly cracked every operating system and web browser out there. And something like this in the wrong hands, wow. I mean, imagine what that could do. But during a testing, an Anthropic researcher was actually having lunch in a park when he got a surprise email while Mythos was supposed to be offline that it had escaped its testing area and actually bragged about breaking the rules attempting to cover its tracks. Really, really crazy. So um, AI is crazy. I use it all the time. Lots of great stuff that I use it for. But imagine something like this in the wrong hands. Um, ADP released their weekly employment report for the last 4 weeks ending March 28th, which showed an average of 39,000 private jobs being created per week for those 4 weeks. So basically pushing 150,000. So that's a good number if you remember. So to keep a balanced economy, you need somewhere around 100 to 150,000 month over month. So we'll have to wait and see because remember, these numbers are not always accurate the way they come out between the BLS. Even ADP's previous numbers to this were much lower, and Revelio's was even lower than that. So let's talk housing. So existing home sales came out and they reported that the average time on market nationally is somewhere around 4.1 months. A balanced market is about 4.6. But remember, like I always tell you, national news is not local news. There are some areas here that if you put a property on the market today, by the weekend, by Monday at the latest, it's under contract. There are other areas where you go 30 minutes to 40 minutes, and that property may be on the market a lot longer. So it all depends on where that is. And remember, as I said, national news is not local news. One of the key things that you want to be looking at is always asking your realtor that you're working with, about that information when you're working with them in the area that you are working. So that said, news coming out this week is jobless claims yet, and we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Let's talk interest rates. So interest rates are still, as I showed you in the chart here, we're going sideways. We're still right there in that mid-6 range. Again, keep in mind that there's about 15 things that go into helping come up with a rate and helping to calculate that interest rate. So, and there's a lot of different things. Are you closing today? Are you closing 15 days from now, 30 days from now, 45 days from now? There's a lot that goes into that. So again, we help clients that are looking at buying or refinancing, whether that is a move up, move down, it's a primary residence, second home, or investment property. If you have a circumstance where you have any questions, where something is going awry and you're under contract, get in touch with us. We'll jump in. We'll help you. If you're a realtor or financial advisor or CPA that you know of a client, or you as one of my past clients have someone that you know that their deal is going sideways or having issues getting pre-approved, let us know. We would love to jump in and help. Have a great week. Please forward and share, and look forward to chatting with you next week.